Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Willkommen, meine Damen und Herren. I'm Marcus Aurelius, or Count Marcus von Aurelius, and this is Dominions 4, Ulm, Black Forest. Sunday, Bloody Sunday. So for those of you who sat through my epic intro in the last video, I didn't specifically go over my scales in a analytical manner. So let me kind of sum it up for you here. I read pretty much every guide that was available for this nation, and I took a lot from all of them, but I proceeded to not specifically follow any of them. I think what kind of doomed me in my last Let's Play as Shinuyama is that I prepared too much for the end game. I set Date Masamune-san up for the end game that he never reached, and as a result I suffered in the early game, and I vowed to not make that mistake here with Katarina von Ulm. So you'll notice I have drain scales, and some of you might be thinking, what in the earth are you doing, Marcus? You're going to need magic. Well, this nation has recruit anywhere mages that are pretty decent researchers, and so hopefully I can offset my drain penalty by having 3 times the researchers that other nations are able to assemble, since they can only recruit them in their fortresses. That's the plan, anyway, and I should be able to afford those researchers and the laboratories that they need because of my great order and growth and production stats. Some more of you might wonder, why doesn't Katarina have more blood? Especially because one of the keys I want to do in this campaign is some of the late game blood summons. And it's basically because I need the points for the scales. Blood is actually, once you get it going, one of the easiest paths to bootstrap up in and empower mages in, because unlike gems where you have to find sites and get lucky to find them, blood slaves you can pretty much find anywhere as long as you have people searching for them and they're good at it. So hopefully I will be able to improve her in blood such that near the end of this Let's Play she can summon some of the really cool archdemons and really awesome blood super combatants and spells. I think that's really it. I just wanted her to be diverse. I wanted her mostly to be able to create boosters that will benefit my nation. A lot of mages in this nation have one path in something, and I constructed her such that she can boost them up to 2 paths at least, or I'm sorry, 2 levels of that path, such that they can cast searching spells and be more effective on the battlefield. So that's kind of where I'm going with her. In fact, with the exception of the big game end super blood spells, I want to immediately create a vampire count and have that vampire count take over for her in producing more vampire counts, and hopefully we will have many vampire counts. The next question one might have, if you have familiarity with this nation and have read the guides, is why isn't my dominion higher? I have 5 dominion, and many people for this nation suggest a higher dominion. The purpose of having a higher dominion, of course, is because your vampire counts are immortal, but only so if they're in your dominion. If they die outside of your dominion, they die. Well, in my expectation, most of my vampire counts in the early game are going to be blood hunting safely inside my dominion. Should we get attacked, I have plans for that. They can do suicide llamabeast attacks, where they summon these dark angels who kill pretty much everything, including potentially them. And if I have a vampire count outside of my dominion leading troops, it's probably going to be in a leadership role and a magical casting role rather than as like a thug role. So hopefully they'll be pretty safe, or at least as safe as anyone else. I'm sure some will die, but that's kind of how I'm dealing with that. And again, it was for the points. So, Katarina von Ulm will be ready and done with her studies in a year. 12 turns, basically. So we are going to now be laying the groundwork for her by conquering the nearby provinces, boosting our productivity, and hopefully getting some research done. We're in a very thematic location. We are in woods, and as you know, this is Dark Woods, or Black Forest, Ulm. So in German that's Schwarzwald, which is actually a region in Germany, though strangely enough, it's not the region that the city of Ulm, the real city of Ulm, actually is located in. Ulm is actually on the Danube River. I've been there. It's a lovely place, and I guess that's where the developers got the name for this nation from. I can only imagine. So, okay, let's get things started. We have, of course, their typical fortification, laboratory, and temple. We have the Ruined Keep, which gives us 2 death and gives us the Ghoul Guardian and Ghoul Commander. Cool troops, I don't know how many of them I'm going to be recruiting. I don't really have any plans to right at this moment. They're situational, I suppose. They're decent, but yeah, I don't know. The Black Forest gives you a Nature and an Astral and gives the Wolf Herd and the Fortune Teller. And the Black Temple gives you the Black Templar and the Hochmeister. Now that's troubling, because there's a lot of cool stuff you want in this nation. I would definitely love to get some of these guys as thugs. Obviously, they're great for researching in blood, spells, and astral. And these guys create free spawn, chaff, wolf units. So there's all these, and the Ghoul Commander, of course, if I wanted that as well. So all these 4 you have to choose from in your capital, because they're only available there. These 2 guys you can recruit pretty much anywhere, and I guess that makes up for it. And these 2 can be recruited in forts that you build up anywhere. So for the first turn, I'm going to be recruiting my first researcher, a fortune teller, and a number of rangers, which are Ulm's, well, ranged troop, but also they're the most cost-effective troop, and they're not particularly poor. In statistics, they look a little weak: 7 protection, 8 defense, 9 magic resistance. They look eugh, but in reality, they have a cool axe where they can hurt with armor. They have a crossbow, which does piercing damage, and so they're pretty decently outfitted. So they're who I'm going to start with. Meanwhile, Urkaborn here is going to become our prophet. But he is not going to be Urkaborn, of course, since I haven't received any name requests yet for this particular Let's Play. It's too early for that. I'm going to rename him to Lighthawk, because Lighthawk was my prophet, if you'll recall, in my Shinuyama campaign, and never really got to do anything. Pretty much a few days after I summoned him, he died, and then the campaign was over. So I feel like we need to give Lighthawk a bit more of a showing. Also, while normally I would send my scout out to scout provinces, I'm not going to do so in this instance, because I'm going to need him in a little bit, as you will soon see. Another cool thing is that we happen to be right next to a throne, so we're starting on top of one of those. We might be able to claim it rather early if it's one of the level 1 thrones. If it's more strongly defended than that, it might in the short run harm us, because we won't be able to draw production from that province. But we'll see. We'll see how that works. We're going to have so much money that we might even consider hiring mercenaries. Though the Snake Charmer doesn't really do it for me, and I can't afford him anyway. So I believe that's all I need. For research priorities, I want to the 2 areas of magic that we are good at, that we have enough strength in to cast search spells, are death, so we're going to need dark knowledge, and astral, for which we're going to need arcane probing. I'm going to start with that because it's the one we get most reliably with our fortune tellers. Okay. Oh, and by the way, about the naming, if you would like a name to be used in this Let's Play, please say so, not in the comments of this video, but in the comments of the first video, so the last one, video 1, the intro video. Please request a name there and only there, because that way I can keep track of all of them, I know which one came before the other, and I can make sure that everybody gets named in the order in which they were received. Now, if you had already requested a name for Shinuyama, I'm going to be utilizing those names again, since that campaign was kind of ill-fated and nobody really got to do anything. If you don't want that, like for example, I believe Declonius doesn't want me to use Kota in this one, that's fine. Just let me know and I'll replace it with something else. But I'm just letting you know that if you were in the previous Let's Play, you will be in this one too, unless you have a change of heart or a change of name. So, okay, previous video, leave your request there. Okay, thank you so much. Okay. Lighthawk, the commander of Ulm, shall hereby be known as the prophet of Katarina von Ulm. Hermann, the cave captain, shall hereby be known as the prophet of Ebenezer. And Alison, the Cataphract commander, shall hereby be known as the prophet of Grenikos. So those are my enemies, Grenikos and Ebenezer. And there's one more as well. Midgard is in there somewhere. Okay, so this province is guarded by lizard warriors. That's pretty weak. Archers, militia, light infantry, crossbowmen, heavy infantry, and heavy cavalry. This is going to be the hard one. Militias, heavy cavalries, and light cavalries. Okay. Alright, so we got a death already. Pretty good. Lighthawk is ready to go. We're going to give Lighthawk the Rangers. Now I'm going to do things a little bit differently here. I'm going to have most everybody... Well, I'm going to have the crossbowmen, of course, stand in a line in the far back. And they're going to be firing at whatever they can hit. And then I'm going to have these guys stand in a line. Well, actually, for right now, I'll leave them in a box since there's not that many of them. Right in front of them, and they're going to hold and attack closest. Meanwhile, I'm going to have these two fellows way up at the front, and their role is going to be guard commander. What that will do is it will cause the enemy archers to fire at them, and since they have shields, they're pretty well insulated from enemy arrows, and what they're going to do is they're going to go to where Lighthawk is. I'm going to move Lighthawk down here. He, of course, as the prophet, is going to be making their morale higher at the beginning, and then smiting. Blessing is not necessary because we don't have really any good sacred troops until we start recruiting the Black Templars, if we even do that. So we're ready to go on this. Probably the easiest. These two have cav. This one's light infantry and crossbows, and this one's archers, militias. This is the easiest right here, plus it'll give us a lot of supply. So we're going to start here, we're going to go here, and then we'll determine what we're going to do from there. So we're going to recruit now. We're going to recruit these guys. And we can't get very many of them, but I'll tell you why we're going to do it. And it's because these guys are probably going to be the ones that are lost in the next battle. And I have a plan. Really? Alright. Well, that stinks. I lost. Well, I guess I could always get him back by doing this. Okay. Alright, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I'm going to go with it. Tokshin, in his Let's Play, mentioned that if you have remaining resources, create another guy, because otherwise those resources will go to waste, and if you do create another guy, even if he's not completed in this turn, the resources will be used. So if that's true, fantastic. Alright, Lighthawk. Let's go test these fellows out. Gunderic, as always, is going to defend. Okay, so let's see how my battle preparations went. So we have our guys here in the front. They are soaking up arrows as they were intended to do. Meanwhile, we are fighting these guys. Hopefully, if we're lucky, we'll be able to cause them to flee before they even get within melee range. Let's see. Crossbows fire a little bit less often than bows, but they're armor piercing, so they do pretty good damage. Come on, you just want to run. See, now I'm in a position where I might get some friendly fire, but luckily I'm not. And they've engaged with my rangers, which is not what I wanted to happen. Smite doesn't seem to be doing much. They just killed a ranger. Okay, this could have been going better. Surely you guys have to run at this point. Okay, well, they didn't need to run. We took care of them. That was some surprisingly high morale militia there. Good for them. But now we're bearing down on them with our melee troops. And they still are firing on these guys, which I don't know if I'm that thrilled about. I wouldn't want Lighthawk to be taken by a stray crossbow bolt. I mean, their odds of hitting him are very low, but yeah. Well, they're running. Okay, good, good, good. So we lost a ranger. Well, there'll be plenty more where that came from. So now we have our friend Gunderic, who is going to be loaded up with, well, pretty much nothing. I thought there'd be a little bit more than this, especially with 2 production. But you get what you can. So he's going to go and meet up here with this guy. His ranger will just kind of hang out here and fire. And his footman will join up here and hold an attack closest. And these two are both still alive, and they have +2 morale, so good for them. Alright, that's where we're going to meet up there. And now we're going to kick into high ranger production. We're not going to create any more of the shield guys until another couple turns. These rangers are just going to have to fend for themselves, even if they get into melee. Okay, and yeah, we've got the fortune teller coming. Alright, so this has about... Oh, this is perfect. This has 7,000 population. What this means is that that's a perfect province for blood hunting. Now, with blood hunting, you want something between 5,000 and 7,000. Why? Because anything less than 5,000, and it's not really worth it. You're not getting enough slaves. But if I were to do it, say, here in my capital with 30,000, when the unrest goes up, I'm going to be losing a lot of income. And it's not a good idea. So you really want to do it in a province like this because you're not losing too much income with unrest. That's how that works. We're also going to move up province defense to every province we capture to 15, which will give us a patrol and unrest reduction of 1. We have the money, and we will have even more as we conquer more provinces. Okay, Vena. Next battle. Let's see if our strategy works as well in this province. Okay, why are you standing all the way up front? Oh, shoot, he's the commander. I forgot to set him in the back. Hopefully I will not cause him to be killed by such action. Oh boy. That was a bad tactical decision. Come on, fellas. Now, the Pikeneers have repel, but since they don't have shields, they're not as effective against archers. And you notice we just took one of them out with our own guys. Okay, so this isn't working as well as I'd have hoped. But at least the melee guys are shielding my ranger captain. And the smites are not as effective as I would like them to be. And the morale of these enemies. In my test game, I mean, we killed 2 guys and they took off running. Now, in my test game, I had 1 level of fortune. I'm not sure if that makes a difference in this, but... Gosh, it sure seems to be. Okay, we can speed this up a bit. Okay, they have a priest here. Not going to do you too much good. And it looks like the leaders are running, and everybody's running. Okay, so we lost a pikeneer and an infantry. Alright. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to remove... Well, any one of these is fine, I guess. Firatha. And we're going to move her here. Not seeing any black candles yet, which is good. We're going to recruit another fortune teller and another ton of rangers. As we conquer more provinces around our capital, we'll be able to recruit more and more of these guys. And we're going to... Ooh, a slave market. So, I mean, this is perfect. Perfect. 3 blood slaves per turn. So that'll give us just free blood slaves, and it'll help us with everything we're trying to do here. That is... One could not ask for a better site next to the capital. That is fantastic. So now Gunderic is going to go back here. And actually, you know what? So is Lighthawk, because I do not feel comfortable going after Heavy Cav until I get a few more archers. And we're going to kick up the province defense here to 15, as we said. And, oh, that slave market was a very fortunate situation. Research, how we doing? Not well, to be perfectly honest, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Okay. Evocation is also synergistic with this nation because we want eventually to spell Iron Blizzard at Evocation 6, which is an amazing spell that our smiths can cast. Okay, and here's Midgard's. Frosty the hearse. The world's most beloved hero shall hereby be known as the Prophet of Pantor. Okay. Oh, we have a nature one. Fantastic. So, I probably didn't go into too much detail, but these fortune tellers have one astral and can come with another astral, death, nature, or blood. So I'm hoping to get many of each. I'd really need a blood one right now, though, to start blood hunting. That would be really nice. And I want to do more rangers, but I think in this instance I'm going to switch back to these guys. Just for right now. I'm going to load up Lighthawk with as many rangers as he can carry. And another one of these guys. And we're in good shape. Now you're going to really see what these guys can do. I think we're going to go with this first. It looks a little bit easier than this. And at this point, Gunderic is a hero. He has heroic toughness. And Lighthawk is a hero, and he has valor. Increased morale and leadership. Perfect. Perfect. I mean, goodness gracious. Everything seems to be going our way right now. Except we need a blood. We need a blood one of these ladies. And we're going to immediately construct a lab. Okay, excellent. This is going very well for us. Venna, we have diarrhea has spread among the militia. Oh, that is no good. Defense -5. I'll have to fix that right away. Winter Peaks. Let's see how we do against the Cav. This is going to be interesting. But we have a ton of rangers that can pierce armor. So the Cav will probably reach... We've already taken one out. It'll probably reach our 2 little scout guys before they make it to the commander. Hopefully we can take some more of them out. Come on. Please. Nope. Unfortunately, they didn't make it. Pikeneers are taking it pretty hard. But, you know, we're not doing badly. We're holding them on pretty well. These are tough troops, especially the ones with the shield. And that was beautiful. That was exceptionally beautiful. Gotta love these crossbowmen. Or the rangers, but they have crossbows. Okay, these guys should start running any minute now. What is up with these guys and their great morale? I mean, I wasn't expecting every single militia we fight against to fight to the death. Okay. Yeah, these guys are pretty much... Yep, they're routed. Excellent. So we lost 4 Pikeneers and 4 infantry, so it's actually a pretty smart move of me to get more of those guys. Okay, she's built the lab, which is fantastic. So now we're going to recruit our illuminated ones, which have 1 astral, so they're good later on for communions. They're also spies, so when I'm done researching, or if I need some of these guys for extra purposes, I can send them to enemy capitals and castles to slow down production. So they're great to have, regardless if you're researching with them or not. So they're definitely getting one of those guys. Here I'm going to get a commander, because I'm going to need to start ferrying troops around. And ooh, a great silver mine, 60 gold, excellent. And a mounted commander, yes, perfect. Alright, so now Lighthawk is going to come up here, and he's going to be joined by... Still no blood one, great. He's going to be joined by Gunderic with his people. And this time, Gunderic, I'm going to set you in the back and have you fire closest. And you guys are going to be set roughly in the back as well. Actually, you know what? It's probably better to do it from this screen here. And, okay, perfect, perfect. Hold an attack closest. And you are going to, I guess, fire closest. My the Lone Ranger. Dun, 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 dun. And you two are the lucky fellows who are going to be drawing arrow fire, or crossbow fire, or whatever kind of fire. Actually, I forgot to check if they even have ranged troops here. No, they don't. Well then, to heck with that. We're not going to draw any fire away from anybody. Beautiful. Okay. And here at home, we're going to pump out more rangers. And another fortune. We need a blood fortune teller, and we need one pretty badly, so I would really enjoy seeing that. And we're out of gold. Yeah, I knew that was probably going to happen. I should also build a temple to get my dominion to keep spreading, because that'll increase my gold income. Alright, end turn. But the mage is more important than the rangers. Okay, evocation, level 1. Olifia. Let's see how we do with this cab. And this is a city, so hopefully we'll get some money from this too. And with that, minus the throne province, we'll have everything adjacent to our home. Come on. And they're running. Excellent. That's the way these things should end. Come on. Excellent. Alright, what did we lose? 4 infantries and 1 pikeneer. Still more than I would like. But that's okay. Alright, mounted hero is ready to go. Regular, or mounted commander, regular commander. You're going to, Childeric, you're going to research for Atha. You're going to move up here and build another laboratory. Seeing a lot of white candles, still not seeing any black candles, so we're in good shape there. This isthmus might be good to take from a strategic perspective. A lake is here. Militias and light infantries. Okay, cool. I'm going to give all you guys to him. And do you have ranged troops? No. Lighthawk will handle these folks. Gunderic will go back for more reinforcements. And I will recruit another mage here. And another fortune teller here. And a boatload of rangers. Excellent. Excellent. Still no blood, however, and that is what I need. Very importantly so. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Things are starting off pretty well. Not as well as in my test game, but I think we're in good shape, and we're moving forward according to plan. Please leave a comment. I'd love to hear what you have to think about what we're doing so far, and of course, leave your names, the names of you'd like to use for your commander. It doesn't have to be your own screen name or whatever. It could be whatever you'd like. Leave that in the first episode, and you're more than welcome to select a category of what you want to be, whether you want to be a commander, such as a commander of Ulm, whether you'd like to be a mage. I'm not going to let you specify specifically what kind of mage, because I don't know necessarily what I'm going to be recruiting. If you'd like, eventually, you can be a Hochmeister thug, but they're not the strongest thugs in the world, so, you know, your life expectancy might not be super high, and I won't be recruiting too many of them. If you'd like to be a vampire count, you're going to have to wait for a little bit, because it's going to be a bit before I can start recruiting those. And eventually, I'm going to have higher level demons, but I'm not going to let you request those, because that's going to be many, many episodes from now. So yeah, commander, mage, or if you'd like to get started already, vampire count. Alright, first video, of course. Thank you so much. Have a good one.